It looks like the Chancellor's getting a rebrand. So powerful, strident, a woman in control. You go, girl. Well, at least we know where the 85 million has gone on PR consultants. She has sharpened up her act a little bit. And the budget that she delivered today was more polished than last year. As I've said before a couple of times, if you put someone in the job, just give them a little while and then they will perform in some parts of the job and even lead you to believe that they're doing okay. But this is all just surface detail. As soon as you go deep into the murky waters of the details, then you'll start to find out what's going on with the economy. So a little recap on what happened at the autumn budget. It can be summed up very, very quickly. Rachel Reeves decided to spend an additional £70 billion a year on services, on the public, on projects, on all of that stuff. 70 billion a year. And she increased taxes on business. So those are the two main things that happened. That's all there is to say about the August budget. And she came out today and said nothing. There were only two things, to my mind, that Rachel Reeves could have done today. And as I say, I do like to be as fair as I can. And I need you to understand that, you might think, oh, well, political waffle, he just wants to see the government come down, he's a right-winger. You're wrong about that if that's what you think. What I want is to live in a country where it's prosperous. There's plenty that the Labour Party are doing that I can pick on. I could pick on all the stuff they're doing with culture. I could have chosen the new Netflix series Adolescence, where the Prime Minister's desperate to run home and watch it with his family. There's a million things I could pick on. But I want the economy to run, because if it doesn't, we're all in trouble. And there was only two things that Rachel Reeves could have done today. The first thing, she could have said, look, it's going a little bit rocky, I know. I've listened to business. I've looked at the markets. I've spoken to a lot of people in the markets, in private business, in the public sector, the OBR, the IFS. I've brought everybody in and I've had a good think. And so this is what my plan is. My plan is that I'm not looking to raise any more business taxes in October. That's all she had to say. She had to say, I'm going to give you some certainty here. We're going to be pushing on with the things that I've done because I know what I've done is going to work. That's what's going to be happening. That's my plan for what's going to happen. That was the first thing. The other thing that she could have done was she could have come out and said, yeah, I understand that private businesses are about to implode at the start of next month due to the national insurance increases that I've put onto businesses and employers. I realise now that I went a little bit too far. I did, after all, commit to doing 70 billion on spending each year. And so, yes, I pushed the boat out a little bit too far. Yes, I did that. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll back some of that. I'm going to put some exemptions in here. Let's look at care homes. Let's look at hospices. Let's look at all of these areas in society that are fundamental to our running our society. And I'm going to do a few exemptions. And then I'm going to look at rolling some of these national insurance changes back, because we need business to start growing again. Okay? Trust me, I've got it covered. And instead, she stuck her fingers in her ears and went, la, 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 la. It was a great performance, if completely delusional. The woman must know what's going on. And this is very worrying when there's no acknowledgement of the things that are going wrong in the economy. There's nothing there. She never stopped and said, I know I've done something that's wrong. I'm going to do this. Or let's create some certainty, because all business needs is a bit of certainty. We just need to know what's going to be happening in the 6 to 18 month time frame, a couple of years out, and then we can make our plans and we can start hiring people. We can start renting those factories. We can start doing things like, putting those tenders in, getting those contracts in. But there was nothing. And what's going to happen now? Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen now. Growth is going to continue to go down. There's going to be 6 months of business uncertainty. And then we're going to be hit by more taxes in October, but it's not just going to be businesses that are going to be facing the brunt of that. It's going to be everyone. Because you can't keep hammering business. You can't keep hammering business into the ground. At some point, she's going to come back. And what it's going to be, there's going to be an increase in income tax. There's going to be an increase in employees' national insurance. And there's going to be additional taxes on business. And it's going to get worse and worse. The only two options she had today was to roll back or give certainty. She'd done none of it. She was playing a pantomime, the Rachel rebrand. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove I can do it. It didn't work today. It didn't convince any businesses. She had to roll back or she had to give certainty. She'd done neither and stuck her fingers in her ears and played the violin while everything burns. We're in for a lot more pain to come, I'm afraid. Thanks very much for your time.